Greetings ladies and gentlefish, and welcome back to another video in which we try to rack up some ace tankers in tanks I don't like, or sold, or whatever. And in this particular feature I'm driving the Tiger Poo, sometimes called the Tiger Poo because it's not very good. I remember back in the dawny mists of time, before the accuracy changes, before all the new tinky tonks etc, before the Tiger 1 was buffed, the 200... yeah, back in my day, the 200mm of frontal armour on the frontal plate of this tank used to be meaningful enough that it made playing the Tiger 1 as a direct comparison kind of pointless. But then they buffed the Tiger 1, especially the gun, and then they changed accuracy in this game so that tanks were generally more accurate and found it much easier to hit weak spots. And the Tiger Poo's just kind of been left behind. It's not a particularly great tank. I mean, it's not terrible. There are worse tanks in the game. Trust me. Although, you know, if you peruse the game forums... Oh, Dickamac's in the side, that's not great. If you peruse the game's forums, you can always find someone who'll be willing to tell you that insert tank here is the worst tank ever, and Wargaming should either delete it or buff it. And that tank could be anything just based on what they are individually struggling with at any given time. Anyway, despite this tank's flaws, we are top tier in this match, so tier 7 game. It's not quite 3-5-7 matchmaking, it's what, 5-10. So there are no tier 5s to shoot at, but hey ho. And, oh, hello Mr. Slitzfang. Anyway, and enemy Panther's already racked up a friendly kill, which is quite impressive, and this Slitzfang appears to want to die, so we'll just shoot him and I think take his track off. Or maybe he's just silly, and someone else is probably going to pick up the kill. Anyway, so we're top tier. We've still got quite a lot of hit points to work with, despite having been slapped in the side by an enemy Dicamax. And we're here on Paris, which, whilst not most people's favourite map, is a map that, you know, heavy tanks can generally expect to do alright on. So we're going to see how this goes. KV2 is going to be a little optimistic here. Oof. Oof, oh dear. We damage him, take his track off, and then the friendly KV2 just deletes him, and we rack up over, you know, about 600 assistance damage. Sweet. Scoreline's 3-1, by the way. This is not going to be the longest match in the world. And we're not really going to do anything fancy. We're just going to pummel everything in front of us. This KV2 platoon seem to want to take the front of this fight. That's fine if they wish. They're certainly scary. Wait, is this actually a platoon? No, it's not. It's just 2 KV2s on our team. Alright, fair enough. You don't normally see a pair of them. Oh well, anyway. And we're just gonna, you know, do damage and try and take advantage of things and try and get an ace in this damn tank, to be honest. So, that T-43 has got himself into perhaps a too aggressive a position. Now, I don't really want to drive too far forward because I would be giving my flank to that T-43, and that's a very optimistic AMX-12T, to the point that I'm able to fully aim that shot, bearing in mind this gun is packing, I think it's a 2.9 second aim time. Yeah, and remembering of course the aim time isn't actually the time to aim the gun, but let's not get into that. So we're up to 1178 damage done. That KV2 just died. There's some peeps up there who... Ooh, IS-2 is using the small gun. Although that actually makes it probably more likely he'd penetrate me. But anyway, AMX-12T, you cheeky little blighter. I've lost track of what I was saying. Dumb ways to die. Anyway, another low damage roll on the AMX. Ah, well, can't really complain too much. Yeah, basically we were just going to push up here a little bit because we're in a top tier heavy tank, and whilst we are outnumbered over here, the tanks that are outnumbering us are, as a general rule of thumb, lower tier. Now, we still don't want to eat a shot from that KV2. No one wants to eat a shot from a KV2. Goodbye. Oh, he hits the corpse of a friendly KV2 there. I mean, I remember had a clanmate who used to enjoy forming fail platoons. Another low damage roll. Oh well. Fail platoons with the KV2, and he would platoon up. KV2 of course is tier 6, and he would platoon up with tier 10s and get into tier 10 matches. Which some of you might be going, oh, why would he do that? He's just ruining the game for everyone else. But what you have to remember is the M10 howitzer on the KV2 is a gun that everybody, I don't care what tier you are, everybody needs to fear. And so he would get into tier 10 matches, and then he would kill everything. he came across in the tier 10 match get top of the team in a tier 6 in a tier 10 game. It was quite funny. Oh, fire on that KV2 polishes him off. That becomes our second kill. And yeah, it was kind of funny. IS2 is managing to put shots into us from somewhere. And by the way, if you look at like where these shots are going in, yeah, a bit all over the place. But if they hit our 200mm frontal plate, generally speaking, they're bouncing. Oh, IS2. Oh. German accuracy for you. But he's just going to sit there, apparently. So we're going to reload the gun and make the second shot count. He shouldn't have just sat there, and I completed a mission or something while I was playing this, I think. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. VK, who appears to have a death wish. I mean, to be fair, it's 12-6 at this point. There probably isn't much more he's going to be able to achieve, bless his little cotton socks. And at this point, I've got 500 hit points left. I'm just going to drive forward and see if we can shoot things. Oh, a little bit slow on the trigger there. The VK ends up dying to the KV2, and frankly, I'm just going to speed this along because there's a T25-2 and an FV304 artillery piece, and they're both on the field, and it's going to be very difficult for us to achieve anything, and that is the match. Nothing particularly spectacular. We just went to a position, the enemy team didn't like retreat, and we shot them. Yeah. Let's have a look at the post-game stats. So, that game wasn't actually particularly impressive or exciting. Bit like the Tiger Poo, really. And I must confess at the time I was surprised that was my ace game. Of all the games I've played, it wasn't the game where I drove around on Himmelsdorf murdering everything and picked up more damage and more kills. No, it wasn't that game. It wasn't the first game I played in this tank after rebuying it, where I racked up a bunch of damage and a lot of assistance damage against tier 9s. No, it wasn't that game either. It was this, which was just kind of, yeah. But I'm not complaining, it just seems a bit weird. The inner magics of Wargaming's XP calculator, I suppose. Anyway, that was enough for an ace tanker. Duh. Fire for effect arsonist for burning someone to death. Was it a KV2 we burnt to death? I think. Oh no, this is a screenshot I can't see. I'm being stupid. Ignore me. Duelist fire for effect high caliber, which is fair, and a steel wall, which people don't often associate with the Tiger P, but you have to remember with the steel wall, it doesn't actually require you to bounce all those shots. You can tank with your hit points, and the Tiger P, I mean, I bounced some shots in that game, but the Tiger P also has quite a few hit points available, so there is that. I'm really not in it. Like, this is a screenshot. If I click on a part of the screenshot, it doesn't do anything. Those tabs are not real, anyway. I'm just being a bit silly. So, we came top of our team, 3001 damage, 3 kills, 1282 base experience. So it wasn't a spectacular race, but I never have to play this tank again, so I'm not complaining. Shout out also to Hobo19, loving the name, in his KV2 on our team. Tier 6, but 2.4k damage, 3 kills, that's a nice result from him. And actually, given that that was Paris, our M44, presumably on the other flank, but our M44 did a respectable amount of damage, and there's one more player that I want to shout out. Tibilica 2018, in his KV2. Yes, he died. Yes, he died relatively early on. But he was my ablative armour. He definitely ate at least one shell from the enemy KV2. So, shout out to you, my friend. Enemy team, there isn't really anyone who achieved a lot. But really what they did demonstrate is, when you're in a poor position, even if you've got the numerical advantage, maybe don't sit in front of the enemies. Like, that IS-2 just allowed me to reload and shoot him again and kill him. The AMX-12T, like, what are you doing, mate? Don't shoot heavy tanks frontally, just anyway, never mind. Enemy KV2 also did nothing. Enemy 45 TP, top tier, nothing. Anyway, 17 shots fired, 14 hits, 13 pens for that damage count, 12 hits received, 4 penetrated, 8 did not, showing the armour can still work, just don't expect miracles from it. 1 enemy vehicle spotted, 7 damaged, 3 destroyed, 702 assistance damage, 1.25 kilometers travelled, 40,000 credit profit. I had a premium account at the time, I think from a mission or something. So yeah, and there was a mission at the time that gave me 5,000 experience in a tank that, I mean, I guess all the XP just gets funneled into the crew because I have accelerated crew training turned on, so I guess that's something. Get the Brothers in Arms going on that crew a bit sooner, so I'm not going to complain too much. Either way, that was the match. It's not the most exciting game in the world, but I hope you guys enjoyed it nonetheless, and are as happy as I am that I never have to play the Tiger Poo again. I don't hate it, I just don't love it. If you want me to play a tier 7 heavy tank, I will much rather jump in the T29 and do another 5,000 damage against tier 9s, and yeah. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, by all means feel free to subscribe to the channel or do all the standard doobly-doo stuff. There's various things rocking up on the screen for you to click on. You can join me on Patreon if you have a look at the video description, and I wish you very happy hunting on that battlefield. Ciao, ciao.